Welcome back to my garage, everybody. In this video we are going to be installing the Tusk crash bars and a Tusk skid plate or bash plate underneath the bike. So to get started on this, we are going to have to pull both fairings off, both sides. This is the crash guard we're going to be installing, and then this is the skid plate, bash plate, whatever you want to call it, that will also be installing in this video. So after we get the fairings off, then we will start getting some bolts pulled out that we need to take out to start installing some of the new hardware. Okay, to start with, we're going to take the left side fairing off. This is a 5mm Allen head. 3 bolts, or screws. One up top, one down low, and one up front. And these are different sizes. The long one will go in the bottom. This longer screw goes in the bottom. The short screw goes on top, and this one with the little flange, it goes in the front. So those need to be put back where they originally came out of. And then you also got 2 clips. See if I can get you. There's 2 clips up front. There's one here and one here that has to be taken out, and that should be all holding that front fairing in. So I'll get those pulled off real quick. Okay, got those out. Let's get you. And then this should pull off. It's got a couple of them little finger tabs that go into grommets that hold it on as well. And just work it easy so you don't break nothing. It's a little nerve-wracking, but they will come off. They just pop right off. This is a couple of them little fingers I'm talking about, and they just pop into these little rubber grommets there, if you can see those. So there and over here, so they just pop off. So I'm going to get the other side off, and then as soon as I get that done, I'll bring you guys back. Okay, we've got this bolt here and this bolt here we've got to remove. There's a nut on the back side, and it's a 14mm nut and a 14mm bolt head, so get those on there and let's get these broke loose. Okay, there's one, and the one right above it. You just kind of have to get that wrench in there behind there. And and I'm just gonna, the instructions say to do both sides at the same time, but I think I'm just gonna do one side at a time and get the bolts at least back through there, because that's actually holding up the motor on there, and I don't want it something to shift too much. So I'm gonna get the hardware and the rack over the bars over here, then I'll get back with you. Okay, now this is the engine mount bracket, engine mount bracket, and it'll sit right there. They include new bolts that are longer that'll fit in back in there where the old ones were, and then just put your nuts back on the back. These are lock nuts, so I guess technically they don't need thread locker, blue thread locker. I may end up putting it on there when I get everything lined up, but for now I'm just going to get these started. If I can get my hand in there. It's not a good project unless you drop a bolt a few times, right? Or a nut. Okay. Kind of snug these up a little bit. Okay, and then that looks like it's going to line up there. Then there's also a little bolt on this other side, so I'll go ahead and get those bolts and get them started. Okay, so this will go here. We can go ahead and start these, just get them started. Leave those a little bit loose, then another bolt for this one down here, and it gets a nylon lock nut on the back side of it. Get those snug, not too tight. And then we'll be getting these two bolts here out of the way, I think. Yep, those are 12s, so. Okay, then we'll get these new brackets in there. Try to get these back through there. It shifted just a little bit, so just wiggle it, and yeah, that went back in there pretty easy. Then these brackets, these two little tongues or whatever, they'll be facing each other, so that way you'll know you're getting it on the right way. And then we'll start a nut up in here. Start this other bolt. And I think the key to a lot of this is just keeping everything loose for now until we get everything fitted. Then we can tighten everything down. Otherwise, we'll probably be fighting it. Okay, next we got a spacer that goes here with a black bolt and a black nut that I dropped. Luckily it fell within reach. And we'll just get that tightened up, and that will bolt there whenever we're ready. Okay, so next we'll come back over here and try to get this fairing back on. We may have to take this back off to get this fairing on. We won't fasten that down just yet because I still got to get in there and get some bolts tightened down. I just wanted to make sure I could get that in behind that crash guard. So I'm gonna go around, get the other side, do it the same way as I did this side. Then once I'm done with that, I'll get back with you guys and show you the progress. Okay guys, I just want to bring you back for a second to show you this. Right here on your clutch cable, you need to loosen that just a little bit, and you'll have to pivot that clutch cable in away from this bracket. And you want to make sure you get that on the back side, because in the front side you'll pinch it when you put your crash bar on there. So that's one thing. The other thing is your horn down here. You have to loosen it up where you can adjust it, because it's up here. It's actually up higher than that, hitting that bracket. So you have to loosen it, let it come down, and I'll just have to retighten it a little bit lower once I get that bar on there. So I just wanted to come back and let you guys know that, just in case you do this yourself. Okay, I got this side loosely mounted. I'm gonna go ahead and get the fairing back on this side. Get it just kind of back here close to being in place and pop it in. Okay, and I'll just leave that loose like I did the other side for now until I get everything tightened up and I can run the screws back in. So so we got it mostly in place where it goes. I'm just going to start going around now and tightening up everything. I've got a couple bolts up here to put in to finish that up, and then I will start tightening everything up. I will get back with you guys here in just a little bit once I get everything tight and let you guys look at it. Okay guys, just a little update time. Everything's been fastened down. You got these two bolts, you got this bolt and the bolt right above it. You got this bolt. Don't forget to tighten your horn back up. Make sure you tighten your clutch cable back up after you rotate it out of the way. We've got two bolts here. We got, let's see, this bolt here. It's a crossover bolt. And then you got the two bolts up in there. Right there. That one and the one above it. And then the same on this side. The two bolts here. Two bolts back here, and the one bolt underneath back over here, and of course your bolts for your fairing. So I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't the easiest on those 4 main motor mount bolts. Those are kind of a pain to get to. You can't really get a wrench on the back side on the nut to tighten the nut down, so you kind of have to tighten the bolt head down, which is kind of backwards from what you're supposed to do, but that's kind of what you have to do on this, it looks like. So that pretty much wraps that up. I'm going to get the skid plate laid down there and get it kind of looked at, then I will get back with you guys and kind of show you how that goes on. Okay guys, I'm going to give you a little update on this skid plate. You've got a bolt here. These two holes are open, so you just look for the open hole right here beside the horn. On the horn side, you put a little spacer between the frame of the, I don't know if you can see it up in there. There's a spacer that goes up in there on the horn side. On the other side, there's no spacer, but this bracket does go on the inside of the frame on both sides here. So that's the front bracket. And then back here on the rear, it goes here right beside, about straight in from the shifter is one hole. On the shifter side, this bracket goes on the outside of the bike frame. And then on the exhaust side, the bracket goes on the inside. So one of them's on the inside, one of them's on the outside. So that's the brackets that the skid plate mounts to. So I just wanted to give you guys a little update and show you that. I'll go ahead and get the skid plate thrown on there, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. Okay, just a quick update time. I got the skid plate on. Just gonna show you guys real quick. After you get the brackets on, it's pretty easy. It's just a bolt here and a bolt there, and then back here it's a bolt here and a bolt on the other side in about the same place. And then there's also Right there, there's a bolt and a bolt right here that come up from the bottom, and that's a T40 and a 13 millimeter wrench on the nut and a T40 to turn the bolt. So that went on pretty easy. So that pretty much completes the crash bars and the skid plate. So I'm going to end this one there, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.